Hello everyone, welcome to the introductory episode of the Joli Star Regime. It's going to be a very short video, in theory. This time around we're playing kitty cats. We're going to be a militarist species. I'm just going to go quickly to the just the overall breakdown. They're the Joli Star Regime. They're going to be a martial dictatorship, which means they're going to have one leader who rules until he dies. Then after he dies, then we get a new leader, a new elected leader. And so that's going to be an interesting little campaign there. We have, they're going to be xenophobes, fanatic militarists, and we'll go into some of the details of that as I break things down bit by bit. So appearance, of course, I want to make them cats. Cats to me are sort of more intelligent cats would be militaristic to me. They'd be divided by clans, and they'd be very territorial. And then that's pretty much the way these are. They're the name is Joli. They're plural is Joli. Of course, adjective. It's a Jolian thing to do. So Jolian. I'm going to go with JX for the prefix, as I'll be changing the name of the empire for quite some time. I figure X is kind of a good, secondary prefix, secondary letter in the prefix, and J, of course, is for Joli. I went with my reptilian names only because of the fact they can get the Star Hunters as part of the fleet names. So every fleet will have its own hunters named to it, and the cats to me are hunters. They're carnivores. They're pack hunters. They are individual hunters. They go out, they do their thing, they strike, they kill. So that's what they're all about. As far as planet names, I've already got a list of names I'm going to be using for different planets. I'm going to be using. I wish we could kind of split it up to where, like, for leader names you can choose one particular type. For ship names you can choose a particular type, and fleet names you can choose. It will give you a little bit more customization to it, but I can understand why they don't do it that way, because it would it's kind of micromanagey there. But anyway, that's the names, the reptilian too. Here are the traits. I'm just quickly wondering what I'm doing. I'm pulling out my book here because I have preset names for a couple different things. But I made them repugnant because people aren't going to like them very much. I mean, they're a little aggressive. They're very again territorial. They've got really weird habits, like they lick themselves, they scratch themselves. Everyone's like, what's wrong with you guys? They're very strong. Which is great. It's going to give them a bonus of 40% to army damage, plus 10% to mineral accumulation. So that's going to be a bonus there, plus 10% there for minerals. They're industrious, which is going to give them another 15%. This is the members of a species. They're diligent and hardworking by nature. That's what this description says. So it's going to give us a bonus of plus 25% when you combine these two to mineral production. They're sedentary, which means they're reluctant to migrate away from where they grew up. And I can see this again. They're territorial. They have their space, they have their little home, and they don't really want to move outside of that land that they've grown accustomed to. They're not like nomads. They don't roam. They like their home. They like their little place, the little quiet corner. And if anyone comes anywhere near them, then that's where the solitary thing comes in there, because they will strike. They're very solitary people, which gives them a negative 5% to happiness. Just kind of needed some negatives to balance out the positives. But they don't migrate. Resettlement cost is expensive, and they aren't too happy in crowded conditions. Which, if you've met any cats get very agitated in crowded conditions, and they'll just completely avoid everybody and run and hide in a corner until it's quieter. So I feel like these are good traits for cats. For the leader, the first leader is Zos, Chancellor Zos. The Chancellor is both male and I believe female. I didn't make any divisions between the two. So that's there. Boop. Let's see. So we've got their planet name, and their homeworld name is Rolo. and the star name is Rolar. I wasn't going to name the planet after the species, as not all species do that. So why not? You know, not all. I wouldn't call the planet Jolo. Actually, to be fair, that wouldn't be that bad. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. It's Rolo for a reason, so it's Rolo. So by the way, it's a continental world. I figure these cats, I mean, they can survive in various conditions, and different clans are going to be split based on different conditions. So later on in the game, you can make templates now of certain species. So I'm going to have Joli that are more comfortable in cold conditions, more Joli that are comfortable in temperate conditions, and their core comfort zone is continental worlds. But continental world, I feel, is kind of like a Gaia world because it has all of these conditions. It's got frozen areas, it's got savanna areas, it's got a variety of different it's got deserts. Just like Earth. I mean, Earth's pretty much got all planet types on one planet. City design is going to be anthropoid city type, because this is how I like it. I like that look. I don't really see them looking like an avian city. So let's go next there. So with a fanatic militarist ethics, they get a bonus of plus 20% to army damage. Which is excellent, because with the plus 40% being very strong, it gives them a plus 60% bonus to army damage, which is going to be great. To start off the game with a plus 60% to army damage is great. It's going to increase, because they're a warrior culture, by another 20%, so we're going to have 80% bonus to army damage at the beginning of the game. This is going to be one of the stronger warrior cultures that you can find in the game. I've made these guys super hardcore, ready to kill, and then that's where we go to mining guilds. Not only are they strong and industrious, but they have the mining guilds pretty much our dominant position in society after the military. You have the government, which is controlled by the military, and then the second is the mining guilds, which pretty much control most of their economy. So the government's pretty much the military and their mining guilds have the most control, and so that's kind of what drives their society, besides their warrior culture. But that goes to the military thing. They're xenophobes, as most cats are. So they get plus 15% to border range, and they get a bonus to rivalry influence gain of 15%. They can purge and displace aliens, they can enslave aliens. People do not like them because they're xenophobes and they do not like other people. Let's see, we can't give aliens full citizenship or full military service, which makes perfect sense. And we don't welcome refugees. But if we did welcome refugees, we'd welcome them as a snack, as they're carnivores. I almost wonder if that would be kind of a funny thing, like, hey, welcome, please come to our worlds, come to our space. I wonder if later on in the game they'll allow you to invite people into your space just so you can eat them. But that would be kind of cruel, so we're going to assume that they're not going to do that. I'll let that happen. There's a new feature in Stellaris with this new update. There's a new DLC that came out, I told you about, called Synthetic Dawn. And with that comes the advisor voice. This new voice system is militarist.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
So that's a very Klingon thing right there. That's what the Klingons say in the Star Trek TV series. Various TV series, as Worf will say that, some other Klingons will say that. Cry havoc, let loose the dogs of war. Really cool thing. So I feel like these guys are going to be very militaristic. Why not have this Klingon warrior culture kind of thing? They're probably cat Klingons, so like half cat, half Klingon kind of mindset going here. Let's hear another one.
It is a good day to die.
It's a good day to die. Worf has said that so many times. So has General Martok. So has, I think Garan might have said that too. A lot of different Klingons within the Klingon Empire have said that. So the militarist frame is pretty much designed around Klingons, descended the warrior culture. Well, that description itself kind of described Klingons. Empire name is Joli Star Regime, but as we go further into the game, I'm going to be changing the name a couple times to kind of reflect who they are and who they become. For instance, once we pretty much destroy another empire, we kind of capture them or vassalize them, we're not going to be a regime anymore because it's not going to be just a Joli. We're going to become an empire, and from there we'll move on to a different name, another name, and we're going to kick butt. We're kicking the booty. So there we go there. And the adjective is Jolian. This map we went with purple because purple's a pretty awesome color. And I thought that this image kind of reminds me of like a cat paw. Like, this looks to me like a cat paw. So I figured, why not? Why not go cat paw? Cat paw, cat paw. We're going to go with energy weapons. To start the game, I'm hoping to get energy weapons and missile weapons. I want to research missile weapons as soon as I possibly can, and make this my duo: energy weapons and missile weapons. I'm focusing on energy weapons because once I study lasers, I'll get disruptors and plasma weapons. Plasma weapons are great against armor. Disruptors are great against shields, and missiles bypass shields and armor and cause a great deal of damage. Actually, I think, no, it doesn't think it bypasses. I think it just it does like 50% of damage to both. I think missiles, but missiles always hit. Missiles get 100% accuracy unless you have point defense. So they're really a good weapon, and they've been updated, they've been customized so that if the first target they aim at doesn't hit, it gets a chance to target another nearby ship and hit that instead. It didn't do that last time, so if you shot like 50 missiles at one ship and it got destroyed, those like the other 30 missiles just kind of just disappeared, which was pretty much a waste of ammo. So now they've customized missiles and made them a lot more powerful, and so I want to utilize that. But primary focus is on energy weapons. I'm going to go with wormhole travel because it's my favorite. It's the best. It's the best. It's not so easy to use when you want to, say, survey mini planets. And I'm kind of tempted to try hyperspace, but I'm using a special mod, which is going to make make wormhole travel interesting. It's going to be a hyperspace wormhole station. So it's going to make not hyperspace. I'm sorry. It's going to be what's it called? Transwarp conduits. It's going to make, which will allow you to travel almost across the galaxy. So I'm using a mod for that. When I get the exact name for it, I'm gonna post that link, and it's probably in the link in the description. So click that to check out that mod. You won't be able to see that for a while because I have to get the ascendancy perk for that. But once I get that, it'll make traveling fun. Well, actually, travel's already been fun. It's gonna be interesting. Sending my ships across sectors and across, to almost the other side of the galaxy. But that's gonna be fun. Alright, one more thing. Ship designs. I decided to go with Sith Empire ships. I had another ship design I was gonna use, but unfortunately that wasn't panning out for me. That just wasn't working. There was some graphical errors. It was just using too much of my PC. I don't have like a gamer PC, so even recording this takes up a nice amount of my PC's livability. With that and this special mod that gave me nice, cool looking ships, but they were just overkill. They had too much going on, and when you have like 50 ships all, doing too much, it can kind of mess things up, especially when they go into combat. So I went with the Sith ships. They're pretty basic. It'll be fun to play with those. And since I'm playing with the Empire, why not? So that's it. That's a wrap. That is what I'm working with. The Joli Star Regime. Clicking done. Boop. Oop. Actually, I'm gonna go back. I forgot to mention a few things. One, I've got a couple pre-made species that I'm gonna play in the game. The Ultor organism. They are going to be, oops, I just realized I didn't edit this, did I? Nope, I didn't save that. I was using the other one, and I have to save that. There we go. Because I have to change that. Okay, so now we're back. So I created this ship of this design, not ship, this design of very scary hive mind species. So we're going to see them at work in the game as an enemy, a possible enemy. And I'm also using 2 other species that I created. They're going to be somewhere in our space, in the space. The Kavira Collective. They're feudal empires. That's new to the game, so we're gonna see how they play out in space. And also this was one of the first species I ever played when I started this game in Stellaris, like almost a year ago. And I won my first campaign with these guys just on my own, so I wanted to kind of bring them back into the fold. Unfortunately, I'm not playing them. I'm playing against them this time around, but let's see how far they last. So with that said, beginning the Joli campaign, and let's see what happens. Select. Alright, we're gonna have 800 stars in this galaxy. It's gonna be elliptical. 14 AI empires. No advanced starts because they cheat. Fallen empires 3. Sure, why not? That'll be scary, but that'll also, who knows. This campaign, I'm so military focused that I suspected I might be able to rough them up. Primitive civilizations, twice as many because I enjoy primitive civilizations, and I also eat primitive civilizations. So that's gonna be fun to chew on some primitives. Crisis strength is usually ridiculous. I think they actually strengthened the crisis, but they also gave us the option of being able to control how strong the crisis is. So some people are going to play it at 5x, some people are going to play it at 1x, some people are going to play it at 2x. I am not, because the game starts off ridiculously, ridiculous cheap mode. Like they'll send like size million fleet forces, and you have like 100k. And like 100k versus 1 million. How in the world do you expect to beat that? And since I don't want to be screaming at the computer while recording the games, this campaign, I figure I should probably just take it down a notch, because I don't want it to get ridiculous. I don't want to get ticked off. It might not come. It might come really late in the game. We'll see how we do when it kind of pops its head up. One thing I don't want to happen is to be fighting like an awakened empire, and then it just kind of pops in and starts to destroy us in our space. Something like that would tick me off, and I play this game for fun of it, not to get ticked off. That's I get enough of that just dealing with human beings on a regular basis. With that being said, we begin the game. So, that's really that's one. So this is going to be a fun militaristic campaign. Both of my campaigns this time around are militaristic. I don't have any pacifists. I thought about doing a spiritualist campaign, just like my last one, but that one's going to be a militarist spiritualist too. And I thought, well, I really want to play these kitty cats, so why not? I should stop calling them kitty cats because they're rough. They're kind of like lions and tigers, not bears, but lions and tigers. Oh my. In the eons since the first primitive Joli communities took shape in the meadows and forests of Joli, our civilization has spread and prospered. Countless nation-states formed as we advanced through the technological ages, warring against each other until only one remains. Although the fighting was often brutal, those who survived nurtured a martial tradition that has prevailed to this day. Now, after the successful creation of artificial subspace wormholes, the finest minds of the Joli star regime have finished construction of the first wormhole station at the edge of our system. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. Behold, the Joli system. The Rolar system, actually. But here they are right here. We've got our own little planet and our own little moon. A barren world. Look at that. But Hish is that right there. So we've got Ooh, kind of looks like Earth, actually, when I think about it. Look at that. Our first planet. And we've got... So let's just look at some of the ships we have here before we move on. This is a construction ship. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And this is the space port. And the spaceport, this is the coolest thing right here. I think this is one of the coolest looking things. I so like the spaceport design. What is that? That is sexy. And these are the little our Corvettes. And those Corvettes look pretty neat. I'm okay with making a fleet of these because that looks hardcore. I am ready to blow some stuff up with these guys. And one more thing, the science ship. There we go, right there. That is a neat looking ship. And so we got those there. And that's that for now. Next episode we'll actually start the campaign, start doing our thing. Let me just check one more thing. What does our wormhole station look like? Look at this little wormhole station right here. Doesn't look like much, but it looks like almost like a probe. But that is that's a wormhole station. But anyway, until next time, have a wonderful day, and God be with you.